Hi, Monica.
Hi, very good evening to you. Hello, everyone. Thank you so much for joining us. We were just taking a while because you were taking a while to join us in our session today. So we wanted to start once our audience are there because the aim of this masterclass is to ensure all the aspiring project managers that what are actually the topics that you should be going through in order to become a project manager ASAP. Tasneem is here to help us with that. So please join us so that we can start our webinar on time. Just allow us a few more minutes. We are sure we'll have more audience soon, and then Tasneem will take it from there. Hello, everyone. Once again, I would like to just give you a little briefing on the class before we start the webinar. During the webinar, if you have any questions, kindly post it in our chat section, and Tasneem will take it up as and how she is able to acquire some time so that we are not disturbing her during her session. And I would also request you to be a part of this webinar till the end because there are some great cookies and some discounts that are available. And I would request you to please join us because I'm not going to reveal that in the starting of the webinar. So please be with us till the end because there are some crazy discounts available. There are some great goodies available for you to take away in the end of this webinar. In fact, we also have certificates at the end of this webinar. So I would request you to please be there with us from the starting till the end so that you also get a certificate of completion of the webinar. Hello, everyone. A warm welcome to everyone present here. Now we start our masterclass. The topic of today is how to master PMP exam content. We have Tasneem with us, who is going to brief us on our masterclass. She will tell us how exactly what are the contents that you should be focusing on in order to become a PMP in just a few weeks. She's also going to guide us on what are the focus area because I am sure the crowd that is attending us today is aware that PMP is a very elaborate concept. You have subjective type questions, you have situational based questions, you also have questions wherein you will have multiple choices, you will have questions related to a situation. If you are a PMP, how would you handle a situation like this? So, to a normal crowd like you and me, it is very difficult for us to understand if we can go ahead, attend the webinar or attend the classes, and can we crack that tough exam, one of the toughest exam in the world, in just one go? That questions might be coming to your mind, and that questions are mostly because you are not aware what the exam content is all about, what that syllabus is all about, what are the focus areas. Not just that, we are also going to tip you on how should you prepare for this exam, which means how well you should be hydrated, on the day of the exam, before the exam. Sleep well. I am one of the crowd who doesn't sleep before the exam and I faint. Do not do that. That is what Tasneem is here to tell us, that you are in the right track if you follow all the tips and tricks that she is suggesting, because she is one of the experts in this domain who has cracked PMP herself. Not just that, she has been an authorized PMP trainer, agile coach. She's an MPA herself. So she has some of the great certifications with her, and she will train us that how do you grow in your professional space. You know, learning will never stop. We are in a domain in times when we have to keep on learning, we have to keep on progressing ourselves in our career, in our knowledge. That's how you grow. So we are here to help you, tell you that how exactly can you focus on PMP exam along with your job. You do not have to take any breaks from your professional background and learn PMP. You can do it simultaneously. You just need an expert to guide you on that. And with this name here, we are going to do the needful for you. The project economy. Now, we'll just talk about that. As you are all aware that the project economy is driving the most critical initiative across the globe. We are here to master what are the core principles that you need in a project lifecycle. How exactly can you become PMP certified in just 5 weeks is the agenda. Not just that. Our aim here today is to understand that how can you make yourself capable, sufficient to crack all the competitive exams out there. What should you do and what should you highlight or learn is what we want to focus on today. Sure. Before I just move on, can I please get a confirmation if you can hear me or not? Because I could just see the slides stopping a bit, so I wanted to understand. Am I audible? Kindly confirm that on chat.
You're audible to me, Mon.
Thank you so much, Tasneem, and thank you so much for everyone to confirm that with us. Now, just moving on, a little bit of brand endorsement. We are from Upgrad, and as you can see that we have trained 450,000 plus professionals across the globe. We have tied up with 4,500 plus different enterprise clients. People do call us and take help from our expert like PMP, as you can just see Tasneem with us, and many other learnified, I would say a lot of professionals with us who train them, who make sure that your company's progress. So whenever you need any training on PMP, we ensure that our team of experts reaches out to you, provide you all the help that you need in order to become a PMP certified. The agenda of this class is going to be about the format. What is the format of this exam? What is the difficulty level? What are the challenges and roadblocks that you would be facing in order to clear the PMP exam? What are the study materials that you should be focusing on? Few highly recommend study resources by Tasneem as well. She's going to review a few of her secrets, that how did she crack PMP and how can you do that too? The path to success for any competitive exam out there, how exactly you become successful is out there. You are going to learn in this masterclass. Please be with us till the end to learn everything that we are going to focus on, because we have done a lot of efforts to come up with such masterclasses to ensure that the knowledge that we share with you helps you in your world. It helps you in your day-to-day activity. Not just that, we end with exam date tips and question and answers. So if you have any specific questions that you would want to ask this team, we would request you please put it in the chat window, or you can wait till the end of the masterclass and get all your doubts clarified with this name itself. Now, I would just ask for a small question here. I would want to understand what countries are you joining us from? Because I know that we have this audience from India. We also have US and Canada. So we have sent invite to people across the globe, and we would be happy to know our audience. All right, we can see if your response is coming in. Welcome, everyone. I can see we have a lot of audiences from India, from UK, from US, North America. We welcome each one of you here in the masterclass. And as I said, you have some exciting offers at the end of this masterclass. Would request you to please be a part of it, because the offers that we are going to reveal, as you can see, the additional, I'll just get to it. Yes, let's get to it directly. Just a hint of it. Firstly, you will get a certificate at the end of this masterclass. There would be PDO certificates included and the freebies, which I will be revealing at the end of this masterclass. There's a small poll for you because we want to make sure that you're not being a lazy crowd and you are there with us, completely talking to us throughout. So this is a poll that you can see on your screen right now. How long do you think it takes to prepare for PMP exam? The answers to the question is less than a month, 1 to 3 months, 4 to 6 months, or more than 6 months. You can select the option in front of you, whichever you think is the suitable option. All right, we have answers coming up in the chat window as well. Tasneem, while they answer this question, can I ask you this? If you were to ask this question, I mean, if you were our audience and not the professor herself, what do you think for you, how long would it take to crack the PMP exam from a normal point of view?
Asking me? I'm sorry, I think I missed it.
Oh,
Can you
yeah,
please repeat your question? I'm sorry, I think I missed that.
sure. I was just saying that if you were not Tasneem, the PMP authorized instructor sitting in front of us, and just the normal audience like me or the people who are watching us right now, what do you think from their point of view that how long would it take for you to prepare for PMP?
It is a little difficult question, Monica, because it depends on how much effort you are ready to put in and how many hours you are putting in. Because these are mostly PMP aspirants are mostly working professionals, so they have to strike that balance. But on an average, it can take. There could be somebody who could put a lot of focus and put a lot of efforts. They are quite committed to it and they are able to balance their time, then it can be done in a month also. But it can take around 1.5 to 2 to 3 months also, depending on how they want to space it out. On an average, 1 to 3 months.
That's a very honest answer, Tasneem. And I think 1 to 3 months to a career that can help you get a six-digit salary or even more than that is not bad at all. If I can actually crack an exam in 3 months' time and get a PMP certified, I'll be a project manager, handling teams, handling a project from the start till the end. I think that's amazing. Why would I not want to do it? So 3 months of hard work, a little extra, spoiling your weekends a little, not going to party and studying for the training is absolutely fine, guys. Now we move on. Can we just have the results of the poll on? Since I'm not able to show it on the screen, I would just let you know. So we have, I think 8% of the crowd joining us has selected less than a month. We have 61% crowd, which is selecting or going as per what the Tasneem has told us. That is 1 to 3 months is an ideal time for people to prepare for PMP. We have 23% telling that 4 to 6 months. And we also have 7% stating that it is more than 6 months required to prepare for PMP exam. Now we are going to move on to give you the answers of all these questions, that how many months exactly does it require for you to crack it? Because 6 months, I think, is a little too much. Let's not be the lazy ones, and we can do it even faster than that. So we'll take the Tasneem's help now, and we are going to move on with a suggestion on how many months exactly it should be required. Now, before we go ahead and pass on to the presentation to Tasneem, I would just like to take a minute to introduce her. She is Tasneem. The complete name is Tasneem Dondia. She's PMP certified, MBA, ICP, ACC certified. She is a PMP authorized training institute instructor, more than 250 PMP batches since 2011. Now, that's a very impressive number to see, Tasneem. Well done on that. Not just that, she's also an ICP authorized agile coach. So she's been a trainer for PMP as well as agile, and she is a senior facilitator for people management certification. In this times, wherein we do not understand how exactly to handle a crowd, because we have Gen Z, we also have the old folks, we have the middle-aged folk. I think now is the toughest time because you're dealing with all the generations. You have people from all age working in the same roof, and you need to understand how exactly to manage them well. Now, moving on, Tasneem, from here, it's your turn. We'll all want to request Tasneem to take it forward. And again, I would just repeat this for the last time. Please put in your questions in the chat window, and please wait for the masterclass to get over for all the good things to come up in the end. What are the discounts and the price that you'll be eligible for the ones who have attended the masterclass? Plus, what are the additional offers that you get? Please stay tuned for that. Tasneem, please share your screen.
Okay. Thank you so much, Monica, for the wonderful start of this session. Am I audible?
Yes, yes, completely.
Thank you so much. And I'm really excited to see the crowd, is from all over the world, very similar to the crowd that we have in our regular batches also. Like every batch has people from all over the world. And it's truly interesting and exciting because project management training is a lot about interactions, examples that people bring in from different industries and different backgrounds and different geographies. That is the crux of learning. And so I'm really excited for this session. I'll start with talking about the format of PMP exam, and I'll talk about the content, the exam content outline, references, the books and all. So all of that I will take it at a go. As you rightly said, we'll finish this. I'll explain concepts and I'll explain it, and then at the end we will have questions all at the end. Okay. So PMP exam is an exam wherein it has 180 questions, and we have 230 minutes for it. 10 minutes less than 4 hours. Uh, this basically, 180 questions are given to you in three installments. So you have 60, 60, 60 each installment of 60 questions, and it's provided to you in three installments. And at first, you get 60 questions, you answer them, you submit them, and then you get the second lot. So you don't get to work on the questions or change your answers for once you have submitted one lot of 60. Okay. Any questions on these, please put it in the chat and we'll take up questions at the end. Okay. Overall, it is an exam which has a lot of multiple choice questions, multiple choice with single right answer or multiple right answers also. Um, there is a little bit of matching and hotspot and fill in the blanks, but technically, the format is like you are kind of matching stuff and you are fill in the blank, as in there's a blank in the question, but you don't have to type in. This is not an exam where you have to type in anything. It's all about selecting from the options given. So there's no subjective angle here where you can type anything. But the format could vary from multiple choice questions to hotspot and fill in the blanks. But all others are limited in number. Most of the questions are multiple choice questions. When it comes to the quality of questions and how are they, like, what do they look like? So they're very different from any other typical exams that are out there in the market today. That is what makes it a very different exam and so popular. It's one of the top 10 certifications in the world. So the questions are very much scenario based. So there's a situation, and as a project manager, what is it that you are going to do out of the four options given or five options given? So most questions are scenario based. When it comes to the approach, because there is a lot of confusion about agile and traditional and waterfall in the market, and there are a lot of certifications today which are about agile and all. So this is an exam which doesn't align itself to a particular approach of project management. This exam has this basic understanding that you are a project manager who is capable equally of doing project management using the waterfall or the traditional model, or agile, or something in the middle, or a hybrid life cycle. So you are a project manager, and these are the options in front of you. And you will decide, you will assess the situation, and you will choose an approach. So a lot of our questions are about also that if this is the situation, what is the approach that you will choose? As I said, it is scenario based questions. So, to be able to answer scenario based questions, very important is your your comprehensive understanding of the concepts, and that is why we say that it takes time of preparation. It is not an exam where you take the training and you take the exam the next day. Um, you will need to go deeper into the concepts, understand them, read them, reread them, and all of that. That strong understanding at a deeper level is going to help you crack the scenario based questions, because scenario will tell you this is what has happened and these are the options. What will you choose? So, to be able to understand the terminology, to be able to apply the concepts, you need to have a very solid foundational understanding of the concepts. Okay. There are a lot of challenges that PMP aspirants face, not limited to these, but these are very common. Like people are like when to start and how to start, and it's like a lot of reference books are available, and what to study, what to not study. Okay. And there's so much of content. There's an exam content outline, there is PMBOK guide, there are reference books. So what to study? Okay. And also when you're studying, you may have completed one particular reference book, you have studied it, and then you are like, okay, am I ready? Am I ready enough? Should I do it all over again? So these are the typical questions or confusions that people have about the PMP. Also, when they're studying, managing time in terms of even time management in answering questions, or even time management, because this is an exam which requires your effort. So it is not an exam where you just study on the weekends and you finish it in 1 month or so. So you really have to put in some effort hours, some hours every day, at least 5 days a week. And it has vast syllabus. PMP is an examination um, which considers concepts and topics from different domains and functions. So you have psychology, you have engineering, operations, you have strategic management. These are the different domains from where different things are brought together and apply it from into the project management concept. So it is vast syllabus. Okay. Mm. Also kind of confusion about exam format, passing criteria. So passing criteria is something that the PMI doesn't reveal a lot of information on that front. But there is an understanding in the market today that around 75 to 80%, if you get in the mock test, then you are ready to take the exam. Okay. So, so let's go into understanding the exact con- content that is used normally to kind of understand the PMP concept. So there are a lot of books and there are a lot of reference books. There is PMBOK guide and all, but everything comes later. The first thing, which is very important for PMP, is the exam content outline. This exam content outline has been a tradition that PMI has always had this, that this defines the exam. Exam content outline eco. I'll share the link with you if you want. I will share the link from where you can download it from PMI's website. So, exam content outline defines what are the things that they are going to test you on. Okay, it is not your textbook. It is like like telling you these are the things where we are going to test you. So I'll explain it more by showing you like what it contains. So first of all, what it contains, it sits on these three domains. I mean, it defines these three domains. Three domains is what? People, process, and business environment, which are the foundational pillars of the content. And where have they been derived from? So they have been derived from the idea of PMI talent triangle. PMI talent triangle has been around for long now. PMI talent triangle defines the competencies that a project manager should have, desirable competences in a project manager. It is a three-tier structure where they have three things that they say that these three competences should be there. So, what are the three competences? So, the first of it is the ways of working, or it's often called wow. Okay. The ways of working wow is process is the domain mapping to it. And what does it mean? It means the project management related technical understanding that you have. Technical, not about the industry that you are in, but technical in terms of uh, do you know how to use Microsoft project software? Or do you understand the concept of critical path method or earned value management? Okay. Do you know Jira? So there are the from the project management perspective, the technical angle of understanding project management is this. And why is it called ways of working? Because it is like a platter. So there are a lot of ways of working. Agile is a way of working. Hybrid is a way of working. Predictive is a way of working. And there are so many tools and technology, techniques that can be applied. So there is a platter, and you don't have to use everything everywhere. So ways of working defines the idea that the ability of the project manager to have understanding of all of these and appropriately apply them as required. So that is the wow part, the process. And connected to this competency in the PMI talent triangle is your process domain. The second one is power skills. Power skills is your ability, your soft skills. So the interpersonal skills and the intrapersonal skills. How do you deal with others and how are you as a person within yourself? How do you deal with your own emotions? So that is the people domain skills map to it are, or competency that maps to it is the power skills. And the third one is business acumen. So that is what I was telling you, that you have psychology, you have operations, you have engineering, you have strategic management. Business acumen is the third competency because as a project manager, when you're doing a project, you are achieving certain strategic objectives of your organization. Your organization is out there in the market doing business, and they have their vision about themselves and they have their strategic objectives, and projects at ground level are means to achieve those strategic objectives. So your project in a way is contributing, maybe a little, but contributing to the high level strategic objectives. The ability to understand that, okay, what is it that my organization is trying to achieve through my project is the business acumen, and the domain related to it is business environment. Okay, so PMI talent triangle, from there, you have these three domains, and these three domains form a very important part of ECO, that is the exam content outline. Further, I'll also show you that what is there in this eco. Is there any content for studying? No, there is no content for study. There are no chapters here. Eco just tells you. So what does eco show you is further. So first of all, it will show you in the beginning that these are the three domains, and this is the distribution of questions on the test across these domains. Within each domain, they have defined tasks. So there are 14 tasks in people, there are 17 tasks in process, and there are 4 tasks in business environment. And what are these tasks? These tasks define the work that a project manager does. So, for example, task one in people is manage conflict. Within conflict, you have interpret the source and stage of conflict and things like that. Lead a team, support team performance, empower team members and stakeholders. The idea is they are telling you that these are the things that you need to do under people domain in project management. And most important thing, why are they defining these in eco? Because they are saying we are testing you on these. So all your questions map to these. So each question you pick up a scenario and you'll be able to map, okay, this is testing us on this particular task, or it is testing us on multiple tasks across domains. Okay. So this is the exam, the exam, what they are testing you in the exam. This document tells you that these are 17 tasks in process, people, 14 tasks and 4 tasks in business environment. Questions test you on these. How do you do these things? Okay. So that is the first document that you want to be very much aware with. This is a document you definitely want to read and understand when you start, probably in the middle of your preparation also. And even at the end, if you look at it, it can give you a very solid understanding of what they are testing you in the exam. Okay. Okay. Also, now this is the eco, but let's talk about the reference books or the books that you're supposed to refer when you study for PMP. Okay. Now, this is taken from PMI's website. This is the link. What they have clearly told you, these are your study resources. These can be. So, this is not an exam mapped to just one book. This exam is based on the PMP certification eco, testing you in all of these things. It doesn't map to any one book and not even the PMBOK guide that they provide. Okay. These are the books that you can refer, and the more you read all of these, if you're able to read all of these, you'll become very, very, very competent. You can read a few of them. It's up to you. But these are the reference books. None of the book is a formal book that tells you that, okay, you have to study only this to take the exam. Okay. So if you see, they have themselves given so many reference books. Okay. PMBOK guide, whether it is the 7th version or 6th version, they all remain reference books. Okay. Just to clarify further on, because there's a lot of confusion about, again, PMBOK guide 7, PMBOK guide 6, what should we study? PMI also gives study material. So we'll just explain what is the importance of each of these. Okay. So though there are so many references, these are the reference books that you can study. And if you study them well, then you are in good space to take the exam and get certified very soon. Okay. So I'll just explain what are the resources that PMI provides. So PMBOK guide, as you can see here, comes at the second level. The very first resource that PMI provides is, this is something they've started with the latest version of the exam that they brought in. This was not there before. And why I'm saying this, because I know that a lot of people who are interested in PMP are pursuing PMP for years. So I know I've been training for PMP since 2011, and I know a lot of participants who did training with me in 2013. Some of them did in 2015, some version of PMBOK guide. And then they take the training, but something happens and they're not able to study. And then they come back to me after 3 to 4 years asking me, okay, what is the new version? Now I want to take the exam. So there are people who are pursuing PMP for long and they know about what was there in the earlier version and all that stuff. So for them, this was never there earlier. And earlier, it was PMBOK guide that they announced as a formal book for studying. However, in 2021, when the ECO was updated, that was a last when ECO was updated. ECO has never been updated after that. In Jan 2021, when ECO was updated or a new version of it was brought, along with that, PMI started providing something called PMI prep course, which is different from PMBOK guide. Okay. And this prep course is provided as an official guide by PMI for preparation. The content in this prep course, the structure of content here and structure of that content in other books is very different. So you have this one book that you follow. This should be your primary source. Along with that, you can use PMBOK guide as your reference book or other resources. Sixth and seventh. The seventh edition has already been, has come in the market. However, um, PMBOK Guide 6th is also an important resource. The reason is that PMBOK 6 gives you information and a lot of things. It explains you in a very structured way. So it can be a very good book to kind of establish deeper understanding, which is required for the PMP exam. At the same time, seventh edition brings in the idea of the agile angle, and it kind of is adapted. It has adapted the project management concept that PMI has always endorsed to what's happening around you. So it can be again an additional resource that you can read, but the sequence in which you should read is read sixth first and then read seventh. Directly reading seventh edition can not be very helpful and can create confusion for the reasons that this is a more uh, this book has shrunk into 300 pages and this book was 600 pages. But all the concepts in project management, right from initiating the project to the project charter to stakeholder register, all of them, all the concepts definitely are carried forward into the seventh edition, but they are not explained in detail as much the way they are explained in the sixth version. And the sixth version has another advantage that it provides a structure to explain that particular artifact or technique. For example, project charter. So project charter is an output of a process of developing project charter, which marks something. It marks the authorization of the project and the project manager. So it defines it that way, and it gives you inputs, tools, and techniques and output that format. It explains to you, so it can be a very good deeper understanding that it can provide. And that project charter is also mentioned in seventh edition, but it is not mentioned that much in detail. It is mentioned as a couple of paragraphs to explain that what is the purpose of it. So if you directly go and read seventh edition, it can be a little overwhelming. It is a very interesting book and a very good book, and it kind of gives you a very different perspective of looking at project management. However, it in my opinion, it should be read after PMBOK Guide 6. Sixth version is still a very important resource. And read this, so a lot of your confusions and your understanding will be much better. And then if you go to seventh and understand it, it will be easier. Okay. Agile is an important part of PMP now. In fact, 50% of the questions they say comes from Agile. Okay. So, uh, just to establish good understanding of agile, you may want to read PMI Agile Guide, which is basically a guide for PMI ACP. But you don't want to read it in a way that you have to understand it and prepare it very strictly. However, one read of this Agile Guide can also help you strengthen your understanding. Other than PMI resources, the Rita Mulcahy's prep book is a very popular book, and it's very nicely explains things. So you want to have that also as your reference book. Scrum Guide is another good resource to understand Agile from the actual original creators of Agile, creators of Scrum. The Scrum Guide from Scrum Alliance, not the other one. Okay. And definitely Knowledge Hut has a lot of self-study resources also that you can additionally use along with your ILT sessions, video recordings. Okay. So, and so as I said, a lot of your books, all of these books have different structure, the topical structure, the chapter structure. So if you go to PMBOK Guide 6, the structuring is different. If you go to 7, it is different. But even other than this, what is the main structure that PMI wants you to keep in mind while you are studying is the structure given by prep course. Okay. And this prep course makes it very simple. Okay. Uh, Prep course defines 6 chapters. As I said, the business acumen and all. So the first chapter is about business environment. Organizations exist in external and internal environment, and how do they choose their projects and strategic objectives. It's all about that. Then pretty much it follows the uh, flow of work in a project. The flow, if you see, lesson 2 is start the project. And if you are aware of the PDCA concept, plan do check act, this is derived from there. So plan do check act is a root PDCA. And from PDCA, PMI has derived an angle that, okay, this is something that maps not to project. This is in general given to improve your processes. Edward Deming gave it long back. PMI said we want to use this, but we also want to use it in a project context. So in projects get initiated and project get closed because they are temporary. So they added initiation and closing to it. So if you see, start is initiation of PDCA. I mean, there is no initiation, so initiation is added. From PDCA, planning is your lesson tree, which is plan the project. PDCA do is execute, which is leading the team. This is very similar to execute. Check and act is support. Basically, in technical terms, monitoring and controlling the project. And closing the project is added. So initiation and closing is something that PMI added, that projects are temporary, and so there has to be formal start and end of the project. In between, what is happens is an adaptation of PDCA concept. So this is a very simple flow in which your chapters are divided in the prep material. And of course, across these topics from PMBOK 6 and PMBOK 7 are there. But the flow, because there has to be a flow to understand the concept. Otherwise, if you just keep on reading paras and paras, it sounds like a glossary. And then you may read a lot of things and understand, but you don't understand the context in which it is used. So this flow helps it very well. So this is the base. You want to know the eco well, and you want to study using this prep material. Keep your flow in your mind like this, that there is a business environment in which the project has been used. And after business environment, you have start, plan, lead, support, and closing the project. Okay, this is the structure, the flow that you want to remember. So my suggestion would be stick to this flow to understand the contextual understanding. And then all the reference books, PMBOK Guide 6 has its own structuring. It has 13 chapters. PMBOK 7 has its own structuring. And it will also map to this, but overall it has its own different layout of thing topics. Okay. So that was about the structure. And certain things that I would like you to keep in mind is that this is about understanding and deeply understanding concepts and their interrelationships. Also, how everything connects logically and how interdependent it is. That you will understand only if you will read various resources. Multiple resources is like, I mean, look at PMP as not something similar to the typical so many other exams are available in the market. Don't look at PMP as just one of them exam. Look at it as a course that you are doing in a postgraduate program, which has good number of credits associated with it. So how do you do that? You refer to multiple resources. You go to the library and pick up resources and read them. So this is look at it like that. This exam requires that kind of studying. And believe me, it's not just PMP certification is a milestone. The study that you will do, the understanding you will do, that will help you to develop a very strong perspective and bring yourself out as a mature professional in project management. Somebody who belongs to a bigger community. You will develop that perspective, and that will help you in a very great way. Okay, so look at it as a course of a PG program. Refer multiple resources. Don't stick to one particular resource. Refer multiple resources, and they will provide information in different structure, which is okay. That is how we study for a course when we are out there doing a PG program or even in graduation. Practice, of course, that's very important. Okay. Cramming will never help in PMP. It is the conceptual understanding. That is, I always suggest that it is not an exam that you can study 8 hours on the weekend, because beyond a point your mind will saturate. So you want to study 2 to 3 hours a day, maximum 4 hours a day, but not more than that. Okay, and space it out. Do it 5 days a week, if not 6 days or 7 days. So take break on the weekends or whatever, but do it 5 days a week rather than doing it only 2 days a week for long number of hours. Okay, do mock tests that they give you very good understanding of where you stand. 75 to 80% is a good score. Okay. And yeah, don't rush to questions. Very important part that I will kind of connect with the last objectives for the exam day also is that you want to keep your mind very fresh and relaxed. You don't want to be in having that anxiety, because all the preparation you have done uh, will not be helpful to you if you just block your mind and you are like in that stress. So you know how the mind works. So your subconscious mind can put you into anxiety, and your conscious mind can not be helpful to you. And then you know a lot of things, but at that point of time, you may not be able to recall. So you want to probably have some, watch a movie before the exam. Don't do the last minute reading. Just relax and chill out the day before, and take the exam with good focus, and all that which you have done over a period of time, all the study you have done isn't going to eventually come to you when you will read the question, if your mind is okay. So that is about all about what I wanted to say, and then I'll hand it over to Monica. Hope, Monica, I'm not taken away your time. You're on mute, Monica.
Absolutely not. Thank you so much for confirming that this name. And this was I'm so sorry to say this, but I'm absolutely delighted to say that you have not wasted any of our time. In fact, it was a very interactive session. I mean, I could get a lot of knowledge from there. This is what we wanted, because like me or many other crowd out there have this confusion on how exactly should I prepare for PMP. I think the questions, before people could ask the question, you have actually given them the answer. Thank you for that, Disney. It gives a lot of clarity that PMP is not an exam that you can do it only on 1 or 2 days. You cannot prepare it just before the exam and think, because there are a lot of that crowd that I know. I do have siblings who used to just prepare for the exam one day prior to it and take it up. But PMP is not like that.